replicate people who are averse to my ideology, and you could call it the shield heart ideology. Like, it's like, what if I was to, perish tomorrow? Then it's not really my, it's not really my ideas. It's really the shield heart ideas. That's what they are. Because what matters is whether the person plays out the ideas. It doesn't matter whether they, who they are. So So, starting off with this idea of celebrating the vulva, what it is it's like, it's seen that as more important, even when women may not see that, or men may not see that. And the way you do that is in part by avoiding premarital intimacy. And so the average person might say something like, well, why are you, like, let's go through all the arguments somebody might make. One might be, why are you trying to control people? The whole construct of society is about controlling and limiting people so that we have a functioning society, and the reason a sustainable society, and the reason our societies become dysfunctional is because family structures have broken apart, and as a result, children are not raised with healthy dispositions, and they're vulnerable to predatory people, and then subsequently when people hurt them, then they subsequently hurt other people. So yes, to a degree, I would like to control people. And then the next question is, they would ask is, and then why does it matter if people are engaging in premarital intimacy or not? The reason it matters is because when you bring a child into the world, it's like, what type of world do you want to bring that child in? And here's another big one. There's two kinds of people. There's ones who are family oriented. Even if you don't plan to have children, then you still have to be family oriented. Like want to raise up the younger generations and influence them. Otherwise, all you're doing is living alone in an isolationistic manner. And that's not a reality. It's not real. It's not being human. What is real is if you care about people, then it's gonna require you to be involved with people and to share your, like, if the basis of your relationship is not, it should be having your values and wanting to share them with the world. And if that's not what it is, then by default, it's hedonism. It's only wanting sexual experiences and prioritizing sex over marriage. Or what marriage really is it's a commitment to several things. It's a commitment to yourself, your values, and that your future spouse, and that those values will be shared into the future. Okay. Like if that's not your goal, then all you're doing is like, if your goal is not a peaceful world, first, and this is another big thing, which I don't think most people will be able to align with, or let me rephrase that. I think people will align with it if they really think about it. And that is that no intimacy, no avoiding or delaying fun times. Well, of course, you self-intimacy, right? But the whole having intimacy with another one, that's like even more pleasure and more like enjoyment, life enjoyments. I don't see how people can engage in that if they believe that they're unity consciousness, if they believe they're all that is, then you have to act like that. You have to think about other people. You got to think about how everyone in the world is doing. Like, what I'm saying is, can you justify seeking romance and intimacy and fun with even your spouse if the world is suffering? It's like, it's a tricky path, but that's what makes somebody religious. It's that they follow certain principles and rituals. Like, people say, well, how do you define, well, like, what makes a Christian? Is it that they pray every day, that they read the Bible? And those are rituals, and yes, maybe those are prerequisites, but there have to be minimum prerequisites. Like, it can't be like pray for 5 seconds. It can't be read the Bible for only 1 minute. Like, there have to be real requirements for it to be a legitimate religion. You know what I mean? It has to be like a minimum amount of stuff. It has to be like at least doing such and such. And so the way that manifests is by people saying, oh yeah, is by people committing to certain things and agreeing to do it. because it's not whether you say you're Christian, it's whether your actions reveal that. So maybe a minimum would be to attend church for 2 hours every week. But the thing is really it's about the amount of people attending the amount of people attending a church. It's like, or the amount of the total, people who are, would you call them followers or believers? No. Like, one thing I like about Mormonism is they have, I think everyone's written in a book, and then that's who you are. People shouldn't get the benefits of like the solidarity of the Mormon group if they're engaging in premarital intimacy, because that hurts the group. It hurts the trust within the group, because it's just people trying to have sex with each other's, brothers and sisters and daughters and sons, and trying to seduce one another, and it's like, it's not loving. It's not. It's not. Doesn't allow for trust. And another thing is this idea of what we call it, envy. You should want people to have money and have, procreate if they have attractive genetics. You know what I mean? Like, if you like their genetics, then you should. You should want them to have children, and you shouldn't have children if you don't like your own genetics. But all of that requires it to be about people getting married and creating stable family units. Like I said, if your goal is not see, one of the big things in Christianity is this idea of people, and at least in some sects of it, that people should only have sex for recreational purposes. And obviously that's absurd. It takes away from the meaning of life, which is sexual enjoyment and celebrating the vulva. But the reason they do it, see, a lot of the problem with religion is it's not based upon logic. It's based upon emotional fears of being like, don't do this, otherwise God will be angry. Like that's not a logical reason. That's like saying, don't do this. Or, I mean, it's logical if God exists, but in the sense that they describe it like an omnipresent, it's not a masculine. You can't ascribe it to have masculine qualities or anything if it's omnipresent. You know what I mean? But alright, so yeah. Thank you for liking the video. Just a lot of thoughts. The essence of it is that when people challenge me, like, I really need to start doing it in the street. I need to challenge people like premarital intimacy is unloving, and it is unloving. But yeah, those are my thoughts for the moment. If you guys are hesitant about anything in your world, then try. Nice one, Tiger. Convert to Eastern Orthodoxy. Wow. I will take elements from that, but like this idea of converting, I don't really think it, like, to me it doesn't make sense. It's like, to me it's more like I mean, maybe does the word convert, it's kind of a weird word, I think. And I encourage you to question words, question these words. Okay. Oh. Yeah, remember to visualize brilliant white light. So whenever the trouble is, imagine like a brilliant stream of laser light going through the person. And remember, guys, whenever you feel like you're procrastinating, it's because you're distracted. It's because there are objects around you that are distracting. Sometimes there's the place we're in is too busy. It may be that there's people that are distracting. It may be that there are the environment. So it's either objects, people, or in the environment. But yeah, what I will say is visualize that bright white light. Like, imagine it streaming down, and like you hold it as a brilliant sphere of light, and you just launch it wherever it needs to be. Is it your vehicle's broken down? Is it you're anxious around someone because you're attracted to them? Remember, there's no point in approaching someone if you're attracted to them unless you want premarital intimacy. No. There's no point. Let me rephrase that. There's no point in talking to someone unless you're ready for marriage. Like, it's half-hearted. If you're ready for marriage, then you approach a woman. You say, are you looking for a husband, or do you believe in marriage? You can ask them. You can, like, are you vegan, or whatever your religion is? Do you this? Um, oh. Thank you. Oh. All right, so yeah, that's where I'm at. Visualize brilliant white light around whoever it is, because if you're ready for marriage, and yeah. Otherwise, it's like, why are you talking to someone? It just means you only want sex if you're only talking to them beyond the context of marriage. And so visualize that brilliant white light. Don't worry about people. Here's the one I really wanted to say during this show. Don't worry about anything except worshiping women's vulvas, which means don't worry about what guys or women think of you. Just when you can, look at women's vulvas, and if they seem appreciative of it, and if they don't, fine. Try to see if they're showing off. It should be only married women that actually fully display. Yeah. But in this imperfect world where maybe single women need to make money on OnlyFans. By the way, if I was a woman, even if I made money on OnlyFans or however it may be, I would still give the money to my father to help me select a husband, because if you're a woman and you're not thinking about preparing for your future husband and being ready for him and being like hey, AC, and being like a virgin and wanting to be attractive to your future husband, then what's the point of your life? Same with a man. If you're trying to spend money or time on someone who's not your wife, why would you do that? All it implies is that you don't AC. All it implies is that you don't want you don't believe in marriage. But yeah, I gotta wrap it up. I'm at my job. Took a nice ride, and thanks for being here with me during this live session. AC, be well. Yeah, we'll talk more. Aloha. Yeah, AC, I've been going live randomly, but I should really try to commit to going live at a consistent time until I build some more viewers, and then maybe I can go live like once a week. But I should probably commit to doing it more often, so I can build an audience and get people, talking about what I'm talking about. So, right, AC. So, think about it like this. That's like saying, how can I give advice about avoiding a car accident if I've never been in one? How do you do that? You study. You study. You study people's mistakes. And let me ask you this, AC. Like, people that question and challenge my authority on a subject, it's often because they're not interested in marriage. Maybe that's not the case for you. So my question to you would be, are you committed to the concept of marriage? Oh man, that's all right. We'll keep that for the record books, AC. We'll keep that for the But I mean, come on, man. If all you can offer is general insults, and you're not attacking my argument, then that means that you know my argument is bulletproof, and so you're using desperate measures. But till we meet again, my debate friend, let's blast you. AC2 going on blast. Bilbo!